Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. Now today I'm just going to do a little bit of a video on some things that I have made. I just want to show you a few things, some bags that I've made, and have a little chat about them. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I really enjoy using up scraps. I sort my scraps into sizes and then I place them in. I've got this set of lovely jars that I had, some of them very old, and I really like having them that because they're like a colour blast in my studio. So one of the things I have recently made is this little shopping bag. Now it's not very large, it's only about 32 centimetres finished that way by 30 centimetres finished that way. Of course you have to add a little bit of seam allowance, and it's got quite short little handles. I'll just check because I can't remember how long they are. So let's have a look. It's very warm here today, but I turned the fan off, otherwise we get this terrible hum in the background. So they're 49 centimetres completed, so I would have added at least another 51, probably 54 centimetres, because I've got a fair bit under here so I can sew it in. So what I did with this one, I purchased this template, and I hadn't used this or done this pattern before, this quilt block pattern, so I thought I'd have a practice with some of my scraps. So I basically made a section of fabric. Now this is actually folded under, it's not the normal where I've got other videos where I top stitch it, although I could have used that fabric. This was more a traditional sewing of the fabrics, for example on the sewing machine, and taking a piece of fabric, placing it face to face, sewing down there, and then building on that block and continuing to build around. So once that's sewn down, I would have placed this side down, sewn it down, and then you can see the block would continue to grow. So I did a whole piece, couple of pieces of that fabric, and then I used my template here and I cut it out, the circle and the edging, in this very bright gingham. Now when I sewed it together, first of all I did this red panel with the gingham and the circle, and it was a little bit kind of boring because these fabrics aren't that exciting. They're just, as it was scraps, it was just a first attempt at using this block pattern. So I added some white stitching here, my favourite running stitch, and then in between that I added this darker thread on my sewing machine. I should have done this thread in a yellow, something like that would have looked really good because I would have had the blue, the red and the yellow, which would have been a little bit more poppy. So to brighten it up a bit, I added the edge of the gingham, and then to even brighten it up more I added a very bright red zigzag just to highlight it. So this is just a little shopping bag, or a little bag to hold things when you're in the car so they don't go everywhere. On the back, because the back was a little bit plain, I just added a little leftover piece of gingham and did some decorative zigzag stitch. I find it amazing how interesting pieces can look with simplistic stitching, and I really like that. So I like my zigzag and I like my straight stitch. So that's one little bag that I've made. Now again, I got out some more scraps. Sometimes when you cut fabric you end up, I'm just looking for a piece here to show you, you end up with these little strips. Now there's lots of things you can do with these strips, but they're great when you're doing this style of a log cabin. So we've got the center piece there, and then you have 1, 2, then you add 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you continue outwards. So these strips are great because I can just use them at the width that they already are. And you can see here I've just used up these bits. So I could do another one because I've got enough strips that I could do that. Now, when I finished this, I thought it was kind of bright enough, but now that I look at it, I think it's a little bit plain. So what I might do in the future, and I may show you, I'll put it in a post, I think I'll do some straight stitching around just to make that pop a little bit more, because it's sweet and it's nice, but for me it just needs something a little bit extra. Now when I talk about using up scraps, I really do mean using up scraps. So here, for example, I didn't have enough of the green, so I've just added a little bit of calico. Now these bags are easy to make, they're quick to make. I always line them with calico because I have a lot of calico that I purchased very, very cheaply, and I like it for this because you can throw it in the washing machine and off you go. I didn't put anything on the back of this one. It sort of does need something, so I might do something on the back and show you at a later date if I do that. But today I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I make using up my scraps. Now, why do I make these bags? What happens to them? Well, they're great if I have to have a birthday present for someone at the last minute. I'll make a bag like this. It doesn't take too long. This one, of course, takes a bit longer because you've got all that sewing to do on it, hand sewing. But most people use a bag, especially now because there is no plastic bags in shopping centres anymore, and it's best to use bags like this where you can take them backwards and forwards, give them a good wash, and they'll last for a long time. It's quite sturdy. It's lined inside. And I have these in my car or when I go to the shops, and I can just pop a few things into them, or if I make them bigger, I can pop a lot more shopping into them. So that's just another way that I use up my scraps. I mean, lots of people make bags. It's a wonderful thing. But these are just some very easy patterns and easy projects to do. And I just wanted to share with you again some of the ways that I use up my scraps. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you spending some time with me today and just having a look at a couple of little projects that I've recently completed. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.